Very good. Very good.
In the context of an economy that is growing just over 5% and which seeks to be a developed nation in 2 decades from now, we believe financial health is extremely critical for realizing the President's target of 8%, specifically for nearly half the population that is economically vulnerable. As the UN system, therefore, means that we invest in scaling up social protection, strengthening financial skills, preventing digital frauds, and leveraging a partnership with the banks to scale up ESG financing.
Thank you very much for welcoming me here, and always very nice to be back in Jakarta and Indonesia. Everybody says my 4th visit is actually my 5th visit. And it's something that I've actually accompanied Indonesia in its journey towards financial inclusion. And this is very nice to actually be here with my new hat, which is financial health. As you very well know, Indonesia has done a wonderful job on financial inclusion affairs. I mean, the measurements between fintechs and local measures are quite different, but still, they've actually made a huge amount of progress. But still, big issues lie ahead in terms of financial inclusion. We cannot say that the access story has actually happened. We were just yesterday talking about sort of, things that we need to do to Chris. The connectivity in certain areas, and therefore the access. In some cases, too many access, many people having too many accounts, so finding it difficult to prioritize, maybe too many accounts, lack of oversight, but also with incredibly, increasing digital lives, many offerings of products that could actually buy that maybe not always a necessity, etc. The second one is to make sure that your long-term goals are actually being recorded for the maximum of cases. It's a very, very important issue in which we've actually seen that half of the Indonesians said to have actually saved, only half of those in a formal bank. And if we speak about can you actually make France to any type of risk, only 60% of Indonesians say they could actually have enough savings to make it. Otherwise they have to go or to family, friends, or money lenders, or some kind of online credit. And the fourth, which is very important, is your confidence. And why is confidence part of the definition? It's because people that have financial stress, they always do not make always the best decisions after that, and then also there's a very big effect on productivity. So that is why we're going to be getting together with employers, because employers see that in their employees when they have financial stress. So there's a very big interest from the employer side to actually do something about it.
It serves as a shock absorber for youths, which we see this year. Only 1 in 4 of MSMEs get access to credit.
So please, we don't have time.
The group is still being
for businesses. We're also providing a lot of technical assistance, which catalyzes financing that is focused on financial health. And we're working with the government, with the regulator and with the Ministry of Finance in order to promote reforms that can build a stronger financial sector for households and businesses. I'm particularly proud of work that we're doing at the moment, linking up different World Bank teams to provide digital IDs alongside bank accounts, alongside access to social protection, and that in the World Bank world that requires multiple teams working together, but also on the government side as well, and so we've played that convening role.
One that is not complete yet. Not everybody still has access to financial services, and also to all the suite of financial services that we need. So I'd like to say that because I think that work of financial inclusion is not yet done. But financial health builds upon a financial inclusion. If I don't have bank accounts, there's no way we can actually speak about insurance, there's no way we can actually speak about savings. So I'd like to start defining first financial health. What is financial health? Financial health, we can comprise it of 4 components. Number 1, making day-to-day ends meet. Is it on a monthly basis, weekly basis, the moment you actually get some income? Can you actually pay for your basic necessities? And can you, so therefore budgeting is extremely important. Sometimes some kind of liquidity to be able to sort of, to make front of certain things that you, of a differential of income streams. So budgeting, some kind of liquidity. Some just small dollar loans are actually important to actually make ends meet, and we're going to be speaking about that sort of shortly. Number 2 is everything that is long-term goals, and that is, it could be your retirement pensions, it can actually be your house mortgage, it can actually be a very long-term investment in your own firm. It can be as tertiary education of your children, or even sort of next year's education of your children.
Valencia, one. Perfect.
Wonderful. So, 10 years ago. Please leave it the jury. Okay. So this is a housing program from the government?
Yeah, this is housing program from the government. Especially for the low-income subsidized religious program. And
So the gentleman is a forage seller. He is selling forage and he has unlimited income. So what we do for selling.
You get the picture. You get it. Can you look to skin mark? Yeah, great. Perfect.
And all this camera, please. Perfect, thank you.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The mothers who live in this
Hello, madam. How are you?
in the clusters, so they can also contribute to waste sorting, also recycling. So all the residents here can drop off their needs here, all types of inorganic, and then we'll do the calculations over here, and in exchange to all the waste here, they will get the points, which redeemable to actually for the they can exchange it into the mortgage installations.
Okay.
So it can help them to pay their installments as well.
Okay. And what is the value of these?
Yeah, so depending on the notarial tax, so you have to be careful. So like for example, it's 2,400. So the BPN is actually doubling the points.
Okay.
So usually we only give half of the points, but now with the BPN they double.
Okay.
Yeah, including like what they use to all as well. The most, like basically mostly.
Life's miracle are not only for today, but for every tomorrow to come.
course, ladies and gentlemen, talk from that video will capturing how that and support for affordable housing for Indonesia's family. So
financial health topic that we're talking about today is going to be very good for Indonesia.
Yeah, no, very necessary. As it is necessary in the Netherlands. Unfortunately, it's necessary everywhere.
To learn from you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Worldwide, I actually remind all of us here that access to financial health is not only a matter of individual well-being, but also a cornerstone of sustainable development and resilient societies. At Deloitte Indonesia, all of us here, we believe that financial health is not merely a personal concern. It is a strategic business imperative. Employers who invest strengthening the financial well-being of their workforce are not only supporting individual lives, but also unlocking measurable gains in productivity, retention, and employee brand reputation. In today's competitive market, and we know right now there's a lot of competition in the market, this is no longer optional.
House mortgages, so it could be long-term credit for your own company to actually help it grow even further, even education of the children. And I see that for some clients here in Indonesia, it's not even university education, it's next year expenses of school. So it's as short as next year, but you know, let's talk about sort of longer term savings there and longer term credit. And that is a resilience. How are you able to actually confront any shock? Is it health insurance? Is it accident insurance? Is it sort of life insurance? Climate change related shocks, type of insurance if we're talking about the rural areas. So it is about insurance, but it's also about savings. So savings is a big cushion for any type of eventuality, certainly for loss of income. And one very big issue is emergency savings and buffer savings that actually sort of helps you to have a debt-free way of getting out of shocks. And the fourth one, which is very important and stable, is confidence. Why confidence? Because when people are in financial stress, they have the most significant pressures also in the work floor. It affects how they sleep, it affects their concentration, it affects therefore their decisions. They show up less to work. When they do, they're less safe. And so it's basically a huge dent on the productivity. We know what is the situation now here in Indonesia. We know that surveys consistently show that money is the #1 source of stress for Indonesian households, much more than work, relationships, or health. 82% of households say that they will somewhat or very much struggle to cover unexpected expense. And only 12% could rely on savings in an emergency. 12%. At the same time, a growing share of Indonesians report reducing or stopping their saving altogether, and many are turning to short-term credit, such as buy now, pay later, or payday loans to cover basic needs.
Over the next hour, we'll explore these topics together, foster dialogue, hopefully spark some fresh ideas, and lay the groundwork for concrete action. I am Shubha Chandran, Senior Vice President for Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa at the Mastercard Center for Inclusive Growth.
For this amazing opportunity to actually have a great conversation with all of you on this issue. It is very nice to see many known faces, some of them yesterday, some of them about 2 years ago in Davos and many other places. So it's very nice to see that some people actually keep on revolving in the same circles. Financial health. As you know, many of you have actually seen me before in Indonesia on the issue of financial inclusion. And as it was just very well put, Indonesia has had a fantastic journey in financial inclusion. That does not mean that all the work has been done. Still 50% of the workers do not receive their salary on a bank account or digitally. It's still not in cash, even more so for government-to-people payments. Certainly the more rural areas and the poorest still have lack access. So a lot of work to be done on that field. But why financial health? Financial health, without financial inclusion, I cannot do financial health to start with. At the same time, it is something that we have to start looking at it now, because we don't want to have financial inclusion leading to more over-indebtedness and more problems. So let me start by defining what is financial health, because I'm very regretful for the people who have actually been with me now 2 days. I think they're going to go mad, because I'm going to continue to repeat this. But it's just to sort of put us all in the same wavelength as to what is financial health and what it is not. It means, for components, number one, making day-to-day finances meet. So that means, not day-to-day, but sometimes in a month perspective, do you make it to the end of the month? Every income that you have is then able to actually meet your living expenditures. And that means basically good budgeting. Sometimes have some kind of liquidity in moments that you actually have, something you're in formal work, or you have sort of irregular income to actually making this sort of, smoothing consumption in that perspective. And sometimes small credits, a lot of people actually take a little credit to just make ends meet from family, friends, sometimes money lenders, unfortunately, and sometimes in the US, even with small dollar loans. Second, long-term goals. As long-term as retirement and pensions, as long-term as wealth creation and general investing, as long-term as doing a long-term investment in your own firm, so that through credit, long-term credit, housing, we talk about mortgages as well, and any other type of long-term sort of goal you might actually have. Then there's resilience. Is your ability to counter shocks, health shocks, death, loss of income, climate-related shocks, droughts, flooding, loss of livelihoods and assets because of that. And of course here we talk about insurance, all different types of insurance, from health insurance, life insurance, crop insurance, weather-based insurance, accidents, motorbicycle, mobile phone insurance, to just simple savings and above all emergency savings. And the fourth component, which is it's a subjective one, but it's a very important one, is your confidence that you have to actually sort of make this all possible. And it is a very important issue because it's related to stress, which is related to productivity at work, it's related to mental health, health in general, and actually less accidents in public, even in the workplace. So that's why we were just with some employers discussing about the roles of employers towards their employees and actually helping have sort of have financial healthy lives. So what is the situation worldwide of financial health? Because I want to say this is not an issue only in Indonesia. My country, the Netherlands, we've actually done a lot of measuring of financial health. 22% of the Dutch people are financially unhealthy, according to our definition. 25% is actually financially vulnerable, so they're just one accident or shock away from becoming unhealthy. Even with all the safety nets that we actually have, and health insurance and many other insurers that are actually sort of embedded in their daily lives. In the United Kingdom, 22% have less than £100 in savings and investments. In Brazil, 41% have difficulty paying bills. So just to give an idea, this is a worldwide issue, not an issue in Indonesia. But what is the situation in Indonesia?